Hello out there, and how are you? MashaAllah, we've met again. Once again, we're going to continue with our lesson, grade 7 physics for that matter. So our next page that we're going to continue. The last time we stopped at page 121. Today we're continuing from 122. And let's look at our objectives as far as your sports is concerned. To describe how technology is used in sports, and then to describe what is meant by reaction time. Good. So today we're going to look at our sports and how technology is used as far as sports is concerned. So basically, when we talk of technology use in sports, okay, technology that is used in sports is not anything so huge or maybe something that we can't understand. Basically, we are looking at what? Certain materials that are used in sports, okay? Certain materials that are used in sports. If you look at today, for instance, we have, if you look at soccer, for instance, if you take soccer, for instance, you know, we have what we call the VRA. We have the VRA, for instance, when the referee is not clear of a certain decision. Okay, if it's not clear of a certain decision, then you wait for the VRA, you go and look at and watch the television. Then you will look at it very carefully, so you see the clear picture of what has happened. Then you will use that to make a decision. Then again, we also have, if you look at the Olympic Games, okay, if you look at the Olympic Games, you realize that when athletes are running, okay, we have time, the time that is being taken, and then we also have the cameras that are chasing them, you know, following them wherever they are going and everything that are doing. These are all what we mean by technology being applied in sports, okay, whereby there are a lot of pictures, cameras around. This is basically what we mean by what? Using technology to what? In terms of what? Sports, okay? So it's not anything so difficult or something so strange. This is basic. But before that, let's look at this very definition. Projectile motion. You can see projectile motion. If you read about projectile motion, this is what we have to look at. What do we mean by projectile motion? So I said this is the motion that can be predicted. This is the motion that can be predicted from the speed and direction of an object. From the speed and direction of an object. From the speed and direction of an object that is thrown into the air. That is thrown into the air. We said it is the motion that can be predicted. It is the motion that can be predicted from the speed of an object that has been, in direction of an object that has been thrown into the air. I repeat it once again. I said projectile motion. It is defined as the motion that can be predicted. The motion that can be predicted from the speed and direction of an object. From the speed and direction of an object that has been thrown into the air. That has been thrown into the air. And of course, when we talk of what projectile motion, you can see especially this very picture, for instance, okay? We said a ball follows a path through, you can what? Predict. So it means when you throw a ball like that in air, for instance, okay? If you throw a ball in air, for instance, you could predict how the direction will go and then how it can go and fall or where. And this is what we mean by what? Projectile motion. It's not anything difficult. This is what we mean by what? Projectile motion, okay? If you throw something in air, the direction it is going and then where it's going to fall, you can easily predict. And this is what we call projectile motion. Simple and simplicity. It's not anything difficult. But there's one thing that we need to take note of. When you throw these things in what? In air, for instance, there are two things that will they will come across. Okay, two things that are happening. One, we have the forces the two forces that are going to act on this very material when you throw it in the ball. For instance, the ball like that, we have what to call the air resistance and the weight, which you know, okay? Which you know, the air resistance and then the weight. Good. And we are saying the air resistance will reduce. I've highlighted that portion, you can see. So this is the key thing that you need to know. The air resistance will reduce the speed, and then the weight will also pull it towards the earth. Okay? As you throw it, the air resistance is going to throw the speed as it is going up, and then as it is also going down, it is by courtesy the weight of pull, or we can say the pull of what? Gravity. Good. So this is basically about what? Projectile motion. Projectile motion. Good. Then we can also look at what? How fast can you react? When we talk of how fast can we react, then bring about what you call reaction time. Reaction time. And what is reaction time? Let's define reaction time. Maybe you can write reaction time. We define reaction time as the time the brain takes to process information. 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 The time the brain takes to process information and act upon it. And act upon it. So it means which time, if your brain is going to act on something, okay, the reaction time for something to happen, you are going to react. Okay, how long does it take for you to react when something happens suddenly? So let's assume you are sitting in a car driving. Okay, you are sitting in a car driving. Suddenly something just came in front of the car. You are driving and you realize that you need to apply a sudden brake. Okay, you need to apply a sudden brake. Now, the time within which, the time between the happening, okay, the time between the happening and then you applying the brake, this is what you describe as what? The reaction time. This is what you describe as the reaction time. Or let's assume you were driving ahead. As you were going, you know that yes, there is what? We have what we call the thinking time. The thinking time. What is the thinking time? The thinking time is that as I'm driving 2 meters away, I know there is what? There is a traffic light ahead of me. So I will stop. I have 2 options. Either when I get there, it is green and I'll pass by, or it will be red that I'll stop. So these are the 2 thinking ringing in my mind. So as soon as I get there, these 2 possibilities can happen. Either it is green, I'll go, or it is what? Red, I stop. So as soon as I got there, I was about reaching there, then it was green. When it was green, I was just about leaving or driving over. Then suddenly, the red light what? Switch on. You realize that I don't have to go, because as soon as I move, the camera will cut me. So what will I do? I just have to apply a sudden brake. So you see the sudden brake, when the light suddenly came red, and then the time within which you also would apply the brake, within this very time moment, between the action and then reaction, this is what we call the reaction time. This is basically what you mean by what? The reaction time. How fast can you react? This is what you mean by what? Reaction time, basically. Okay, good. Then we have also what we call uncertainty. Uncertainty. When we say uncertainty, it means uncertainty. It is an English word. It's not scientifically. Okay, it means you are not certain. Certainty means you are sure of something. If we said uncertainty, then definitely it is the other way around. It means you are not sure of something. Okay, these are the key words that we need to know. Okay, of course. Good. Then we come to what we mean by what. And in fact, scientists have also realized that our thinking time, or let's say our reaction time rather, our reaction time takes about 0.2 seconds. Okay, 0.2 seconds for us to react on something, a sudden happening. Okay, good. So if you look at this portion, if you read, you can be seeing, they'll show you what you mean by what. How long does it take for us to react as far as what? As far as reaction time is concerned. Okay, good. Then the uncertainty that I talk about, try to read this portion, you will understand what about uncertainty. When we say uncertainty, it is the amount by which you cannot be sure of a value, okay, of your measurement because of your measurement instrument or method. Okay, so you use certain method or certain instrument to calculate something, but you are not sure of the exact what. So you give certain projection, and this is what we call uncertainty. If you read this portion, you get it very clear. And here we are talking about what? Keeping safe. The keeping safe is in a field of sports, okay? How do we keep ourselves safe in case of what? Accident. So when you read this portion too, you can have a certain understanding for that matter. So it is not anything so difficult, inshallah. So we shall stop here. And for instance, in football, for instance, we have what we call the shin guard. The men, the shin guard we use to cover. We have certain guard that we use in front of our shin, in front of the leg, okay? We use it as we call it shin guard. It is all for safety, okay? Just to do protection. Good. So this is it about it. And I believe our objective has been achieved. So we wouldn't hesitate to, of course, look at the summary questions as usual, okay? So when we meet, we shall look at the summary questions and then we'll go to the next page, inshallah. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Assalamu alaikum.